Please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and thanks. Hey, good afternoon to the tribe. Good to have you here. It's another CarmCast. About every 2 weeks we do a CarmCast like this live on Wednesdays. Of course, we do the Aftermarket Weekly every Tuesday in the Town Hall Academy every Friday at noon. And we intersperse CarmCasts. And I've been on this crazy roll, everyone, to do these shows about how and why of certain things inside of our industry. And I think in a couple of weeks, we may even do a back office, best practices of back office. I'm working on that. But we're here to talk about selling batteries. Interesting. I don't need to know that, Carm. I sell enough batteries. Well, maybe you do, and maybe you don't. With me is Tom Sciortino from Total Automotive in Tonawanda, New York. Hello, Tom. There he is. Hey, Tom.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. In my hometown, actually, I'm probably Tom lives actually very close to where I live, but he drives, about 30 miles to work, right?
Yeah, 35 miles every day.
35 miles every day, but we're kind of neighbors because when you're in the country, John, and somebody says you're like 20 miles apart, that means like you're just next door. We're in the country. John Armstead is with us from Armstead Automotive, 2 locations in Holly and Saginaw, Michigan. Hey, John.
How you doing, buddy?
Great. So glad to have you here. We're sponsored by a great company. We're sponsored by Broadly. Now, let me talk to you about Broadly. Are you seeing auto shops in your area get hundreds of 5-star Google reviews, and are you feeling left behind because your shop only has a few reviews? Well, hey, look, Broadly is your answer to getting more online reviews. Now, with more reviews, your business will rank higher in search results, and you know what that means? That's more customers coming into your shop each and every day. Broadly helps you automatically request reviews so that your customers can promote your business with just one click. Now, when you immediately ask for a review after service, when the experience is still fresh in their mind, you're more likely to get a 5-star positive review. Plus, asking for feedback makes your customer feel valued and a whole lot more connected to your business. Now, isn't that what you want? A connected customer. See how Broadly can help you grow your auto shop. Visit getbroadly.com/carm to learn more. Getbroadly.com/carm. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and thanks. One's with us on any of the social medias, we'd love to have you check in with your city, give us a like, a comment, or a share. Appreciate that. Now, guys, let's talk about this whole selling batteries thing. This hit me hard when I visited Tom's shop one day a little while back, and I saw 35 feet worth of batteries in his parts room. And the question that I asked Tom was, do you sell a lot of batteries? And of course, he said he sure does. So I said, well, one day we've got to have you on and we've got to do this thing. Here's what I want both John and Tom to do is let's hit the why we got to do this and the how it works. How do we really get the battery sales in the face of the customer, get them to stick? I want to talk about availability and stock and, how quickly you can get batteries. So let's start, Tom. Why are you selling so many batteries?
In our business, we have a lot of waiting customers. So it's a demand type purchase. When you check the vehicle out with the DVI, if it needs a battery, they're more apt to buy it if you can put it in immediately rather than wait. It's nice to have the convenience to be able to put it in right away. Say, hey, I'll take care of that right now.
Same with you, John.
Yes, we do the DVI inspection, and when we do that, we use the interstate battery tester, and we test every battery and then do some sort of a printout for them, so we know if it's marginable, if it's junk, or if it's good. You just don't want one of your customers heading out around here in Michigan. I mean, you get out quite a ways, it's going to be a tow bill to get them back in here, and you want a peace of mind that the vehicle is going to make it there and back.
Now, you're both from cold climates, but I also know that we've had some really, really hot weather. Stephen Powell made a comment from Facebook. He says, we test every battery, every car with a printout, like you just said, John.
Yeah.
And it said, we recommend batteries after 48 months. 48 months.
Yeah.
You guys agree with that?
Yes.
Absolutely. In the hotter climate, they may even fail sooner than that.
So, a person who believes that their batteries in their car for an average of 5 years may be wrong.
With the demand on batteries nowadays, they may be wrong. And I just had a situation with a customer come in questioning the start-stop on their vehicle, and one of the parameters is that vehicle won't stop if the battery is weak. It knows. So, they have to be cognizant it might be a battery that's causing another problem.
That's not you. It's Carm. Carm can't hear you.
Sorry, guys. So your battery testing procedure, both John and Tom, is in the DVI process, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So your people can't get away with testing each and every vehicle that comes in.
What we do is our inspection. It makes you go across battery starter, charging system to check that, and you run that. We actually have Interstate Battery, and they supply us with a tester. Tester checks all three, and it's a procedure in our checkout to go ahead and run that test on every vehicle and do a printout.
Your people are 100% compliant, John?
Yeah.
Tom, same with you?
Yeah, we actually made a change to our software where every work order that gets made up has the DVI placed first on the work order. So they have to do that DVI on every single car when it comes in.
Okay. So if you get dozen cars a day, how many batteries are you selling? One or two, maybe?
I just actually ran the numbers. We're selling about year-round about 3 batteries a week. Obviously, during the winter, that's a lot higher.
Same here. Summer times though, when it gets hot, it's just like winter. I mean, the heat kills them batteries too. So we'll end up with a surge when it gets up above like 80 degrees, 90 degrees. We'll get a surge in batteries. Along with if it gets below 0, we get a surge in batteries.
The other thing on those surges, we see that a lot of those ones that are on the edge of failing, if we catch them in the DVI, we don't see those surges. It's more consistent throughout the year. We're selling them year round.
Right.
Does the customer... Go ahead, John.
It depends how your week's going too. Like sometimes we'll get a whole series of brand new cars in here for oil changes and whatever. Well, those are all going to pass flying colors pretty much. Then once you start getting the weeks where you just got the older vehicles coming in, you're going to get some battery sales. So it's up and down per week.
The car comes in and it's 3 years old, for example, okay? And you've been doing lube oil and filters on it. There's not a whole lot of mechanical maybe going wrong, depending on the miles. I get it. Would you tell the customer up front, listen, part of our testing is the batteries could be very much on the edge. Do you let them know that pre-discussion?
No, our customers know what we're going to do. We're pretty much going to do a full checkout, and that includes the battery test. So we'll just go ahead and just run it through the DVI and give them the results.
And you give them the results. Does that report, Tom, do you do a report too?
Yeah, actually, we put it in the note field with a picture of the test. So we can see those customers that come in consistently. If that battery is starting to slip and fail, we'll bring it to their attention. So we have a history on that car's battery.
So 150 batteries, Tom. John, you kind of agreed with that.
Yeah.
And because of the heat in the summer, because of the cold in the winter, I would love if anyone else is hanging with us in social media to see. And Stephen Paul, I see that you're here. Do you agree that 150 batteries? I mean, do your battery suppliers say that's a good number?
Yeah, for us, our supplier
Yeah.
says that we're one of the highest selling batteries out of that particular store.
Okay, at 150 a
Right.
year,
Right.
there or about. And Tom, how many batteries do you stock?
I stock 16 batteries on the shelf, one of every common size, two of some of the more common sizes. And it's not uncommon for a 35 series battery for me to sell 2 or 3 of those a week during the busy time.
John, how many do you stock?
40.
Okay.
Yeah, we got HD batteries, the 31 series in here. We got 3 of those, and then we got 2 or 3 of everything else. We just got a big supply of inventory on batteries. They come in, they rotate them out every so many days. They come in, Interstate does. They rotate batteries in and out, make sure they're all fresh. Take care of our stuff. We need something like that day, we can hot shot it right to us and get the Interstate battery here.
That's good. Where I was going with that, Tom, you probably have your supplier just down the road that you could get a battery if you didn't have one.
Yeah, I can get a battery in 15 minutes if I have to.
And when you say hotshot, John, are you talking about getting a battery within a couple of hours?
Yeah, it's the same day. So it could be 2 hours, could be 6 hours. It just depends because it's coming from Interstate. Interstate's not local.
No, right.
So and you're selling Interstate. Now, if we need something right away within 10 minutes, we'll just call, and get it from the local CarQuest, get an AC Delco or whatever they got. The CarQuest batteries aren't too bad, but we like to push the Interstate because they're just easier to take care of.
The rotation is critical, is key.
Yes.
You're saying that, are they looking every week at your rotation?
They're in here every week. Yep.
Every week they're checking.
Now they're not rotating every week, but they're looking at everything every week.
They're checking date codes. And what's when it comes out? How old is it? 6 months?
I would think it's probably 90 days.
90 days.
They're rotating batteries out of here. Yeah.
Tom, how about you? What's your rotation like?
Same thing, about 90 days. We check the shelf all the time. I prefer to do it myself rather than have the salesman do it. I manage my own inventory on them. But definitely we check the date codes and rotate them out. There's no problem returning them back to the store and getting a fresh one.
Okay. How often do you get someone towed in or a call from a customer that their battery died?
Yeah.
Almost
every day.
when you're the busiest.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is that because you may have missed something or there was an electrical short? I mean, if you're checking or that customer hasn't come in a while, so they haven't gone through the inspection process. What are the reasons?
Map lights.
Kids leaving the doors open.
Yep. You get that one, like in the vans, your town and country vans, I think this one was a Toyota or Honda. And he left, the middle map light was on, and it was one of our batteries, and it died. We went over and picked it up with the wrecker, brought it in, checked it out. I charged it to do a test on it to make sure it was good or bad before. I'm not just going to put a new battery in it because the guy killed it. Passed the test, just had to be recharged. Look down through the windshield, you can see the map light on in the back.
With COVID this year, a lot of people let their cars sit, and we saw a ton of people call that, hey, my car's been out in the driveway for 2 weeks. I haven't been out of the house. No, it won't start. So all those cars get new batteries, every one of them.
We get the surge right in, I think it's April, from all the Florida people coming back to Michigan, uncovering their cars and firing them up for the first time. We get a lot of dead batteries right there. So not too many interstate failures.
So because I've known this episode has been coming up, I've been asking many shop owners that I know sell a lot of batteries. And some of them have said to me, no. And I said, why? And they said, I don't know.
They're not asking.
They're not checking.
They're not checking.
All right. They're not asking. And so that's the point. Let's bring this. There's not much more we can do to convince the rest of the world that they're missing a sales opportunity. You guys have nailed it. And I would just love you to just reach out to the industry and look them in the eye and say, you guys are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I was that person 15 years ago, and Interstate actually came in with the program you're on, John, and handed me a tester and said, "Here, you can have the tester, but the deal is you check every battery that
Yep.
comes in the shop." And I took that deal, and we started selling a ton of batteries and didn't realize it at that point. And we stuck with that. I'm not with Interstate anymore, but we still have a tester in the shop, and we still test every one, and we still sell the same amount of batteries.
Well, we've been with Interstate since 1986. We haven't left them, and I've brought in AC Delco, tried them out with Interstate. So I had AC Delco and Interstate here. When I had the towing service, I did the AAA battery thing, and that was obnoxious. That was ridiculously stupid. Never do it again. But the Interstate has been awesome. They gave us a tester. And some of these testers are, you'll agree, Tom, that they test good certain days, and some days it's like, come on, what the heck, And we have a VAT 40 for backup. So the VAT 40, I'm old school. I like the VAT 40, man. It don't lie. If you got a bad battery, it's going to show it. And then we end up buying like the solar battery testers with the printers. We went through several of those, went right through them, burn them up, they're junk, throw them out, get new ones. But then Interstate just came in this last week, gave me the new IB Pulse. It is a really nice tester. That's the tester we got for Interstate. You see that okay, Carm?
Got it. Nice. Thanks, John.
Yep. And so I just got to get it.
What do you like about it?
Nothing yet. I haven't got it wired in.
Okay.
I haven't. It's brand new. I mean, we just got it dropped off. I just ordered up. I'm out of cable, so I got to get my. It comes with a router, so I got to place a router in the center of the shop, so it's all wireless. This thing will print to the printer. It'll print to your phone. It'll print. It'll actually send an email out to the customer with the results of their battery test. I think it's going to be awesome once I get it hooked up, and I should have it hooked up by tomorrow.
Wow, cool. Tell me about it. I'd love to know. So I think we've done enough to convince our customers. Let's talk about the profitability side. Are you charging for installation? Are you making a decent margin? Are you making a flat dollar on a certain battery size? Could you give us some of your strategy on that?
Ours is about 25%. We don't get a big dollar on our batteries because they're expensive, and especially going through Interstate. Interstate's a bit more high dollar. And then labor wise, it just depends what we got, if it's just in for a battery and, that's what we're doing, then yeah, we just get the labor on the battery, and that's what, the labor in the sale. Good customers and stuff like that. This is a good way to keep a customer. I'll put it in for nothing, whatever, just the price of the battery. And these people will be hooked for you. It's like a golden handcuff to the customer to take care of them like that.
Yeah, we don't have any problem charging for batteries. Our matrix set marks them up anywhere between 30 and 35%. And then we charge Mitchell book time on every one. So, and nobody ever complains about the price of a battery. Put it in.
Right.
So you're doing pretty well, Tom, with a decent margin, not a great margin, but a decent margin. And I think to your point, John, it's been one of the items that's been commoditized over the years, where you just can't seem to, you can't make 50% on a battery.
It's like tires.
Yeah, just like tires.
Exactly.
Just like tires. But Tom, you're enjoying the labor.
Yeah, the labor we go right out of the book time, and we used to be a flat, $15 to put a battery in, but when they got more difficult and you had to take more stuff apart, we started charging by the book time and found out that nobody complained because they're not going to do it in their driveway. They're not going to do it in front of a parts store.
On some of these cars, you almost got to charge a finding fee to find the dang battery.
That was my next question, John. Thank you for bringing it up. I wanted to ask about access.
Right.
What's the percent that you got to go hunting and pecking?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, the newer ones, it's just, they're in the trunk, they're underneath the seats. It just depends where it's at. And, those ones there, you do charge labor for. There's, you get full hour if you have to. No problem at all.
And AAA won't change some of those batteries on the road. So you're always going to get those into the shop. The Chryslers in the fender well, the Jeeps underneath the seat, they're not going to change them on the road.
We got a question for you, John, from Scott Felser. What is Interstate charging you for the use of the IB Pulse tester? Any idea?
Oh, he just dropped it off. He just came in. He ain't charged us nothing. I mean, we're in good with Interstate because we've been with them since 1986.
Yeah,
and we
you're
sell a
long
ton
term.
of batteries
Mhm.
for them.
Got
Yeah.
it. But if you were just starting, I'm sure there's going to be what any idea? Scott, do you know what that costs?
I think they have like a flat fee from Interstate. So like if you're not in real good with them, you're fresh into Interstate, they might be like 35 or 45 bucks a month.
For that
the tester. Yeah, it's like
tester.
a rental fee. Yeah, but if it breaks, they'll come in and take care of it.
What is it? $1,000 item, guys?
Yeah, at least.
At least that.
Because what Interstate does is they dock these things. At least the old one, we docked it at night, and it would download all the tests that we did, and Interstate would see how many tests we're doing, so they keep track of what we're doing.
But even at a rental charge, it's worth it because the sale of one battery is going to pay for the month's rental.
Yep.
Yeah, just one. So I can't understand why we're not selling more batteries when I ask shop owners. Do you think we've convinced them, or is it just, I hate to say this, but it's just poor business practice not to if I wanted to be sure that my car, my wife's car, I'm traveling, I'm commuting, I'm going to soccer practice, I'm, all of a sudden we're planning a long weekend. I don't think about my battery. It's my shop that's supposed to think about my battery.
Right.
Why would we not be looking carefully at this?
The shops have to be committed and have to be consistent. If they're not consistent, they're not committed, their techs aren't going to do it. It's just another step that they have to do in their day that they're not going to bother with. So you have to, if they walk up to the service writer and don't have the battery test, the service writer has to say, hey, where's the battery test on this car? And make them go do it.
Yeah, I mean, the mindset of a lot of techs, they go out, they jump in the car, put their stuff in the car, they fire it up, they drive it in the shop. Well, they think they did their battery test because it started up outside to the inside. That's good. That battery sounded good. They're not. You got to hook the tester up, because if there's a cell in there that's going or something inside that battery where it's going to let loose, you need to catch it.
Going back to the quality of the battery testers, years ago, I tested a battery on a Thursday afternoon, oil change, customer told them, hey, this battery's about ready to fail. Saturday morning, I got a phone call. How did you know? It was coming in on a tow truck. So the customer thanked me, because they then were a believer that tester could predict the failure of that battery.
Wow. I guess if you've got the confidence and you're selling honestly because the data is right, you'll, it's the integrity of your company, the culture of your company. I mean, you just can't. Anyway, I don't want to go up on a high horse here, but if you trust your battery tester and your customers trust you, you sell it.
Yep,
absolutely.
You want the customer the good peace of mind that their car is going to make it to where they're going and coming back.
Hey guys, this was great. Thank you. Again, I don't think we can learn to ride a bike in a seminar, but I think we really hammered out the why and the how of selling batteries. Tom Sciortino, Total Automotive, Tonawanda, New York. Thank you. And John Armstead from Armstead's Automotive in Holly and Saginaw, Michigan. Thanks for your great wise words of wisdom. Appreciate it, guys.
Welcome.
No problem. Thanks.